Before I start, I would like to thank you for having me in this great conference. I'm going to talk about cat population management and TNR in Spain at national and local level. As you may be aware, the legislation on animal welfare is quite complicated in Spain because we've got 19 animal protection laws. Each autonomous community has got its proper animal protection law. Until 2015, only one of those autonomous communities had a paragraph on cat colonies. Since 2015, as you can see, many regions have started to include cat population management and TNR in their regulations. This year, the news is that we have, at last, a national law including TNR and cat population management at a state level, and that's really new in Spain. It's been a very long and complex process to achieve the enactment of this animal protection law, and it's due to the fact that we have, since 2020 in Spain, a Directorate General for Animal Rights, and that is a body that reports to the Ministry of Social Rights and Agenda 2030. They've been working a lot, and since the first draft was presented 19 months later, we had the publication in the official Gazette of the State in March 2023 of this new law. In terms of TNR and cat population management, the main obstacles have been the lobbies, hunters on one side and conservationists and ecologists on the other side. Basically, they don't understand or they don't believe that TNR will lead to population control. The law is called Protection of the Rights and Welfare of Animals, and its purpose is to establish a legal regime for companion animals and wild animals held in captivity. So we are not talking about production animals nor wildlife. The law regulates many aspects, including identification and registration, breeding, trade, transport, and obviously the aim is to prevent abandonment and animal abuse, which are real important issues in Spain. In terms of cat population control, cat colonies and responsible ownership are in the law, with a compulsory identification and neutering of all cats, that is owned and unowned cats. There is a major controversy since the publication of the law because of the exclusion of hunting dogs and other animals used in rural activities. That is the consequences of the work of the hunting lobby and the acceptation from the Socialist Party to keep them outside, the hunting dogs, to keep the hunting dogs outside of the law. TNR is very detailed in Chapter 7 of the law, and really it states that the cats, community cats, will have to be neutered and identified with a microchip, which is totally new in Spain and in many autonomous communities. Chapter 7 details the methodology of TNR, but before that there is a definition of community cat which is introduced in the law. Until 2023, until this year, we've been talking a lot about feral cats or stray cats. Now the name is community cat, and it's going to go through all over Spain, and many regional laws are starting to talk about community cats. The local authorities are responsible for the management of the colonies. They have to develop cat colony management programs, each of them. And they will receive some subsidies to do that, because you know that budgets are keys in this kind of programs. The next step was waiting for the results of general elections, because the law was going to be due to come into force in September, and we have now new elections, which was not planned. We will have elections in July, which means that the government may change hands before the law comes into force. The regulation, which was supposed to be ready by September, is now stopped and will not be published, so we are in standby. And no need to say that the hunting sector and other lobbies are saying that they want the law to be repealed. So we will see what happens. The key word now is standby and wait and see. In the meantime, many cities are working for community cats and developing TNR programs, and one of them is Cordoba, which is probably the best example at the moment in Spain of a very good TNR program. The stakeholders are the Federation of Animal Protection Associations, the municipal company that deals with animals, the vet college, which is very involved in that program, obviously the city council, because without its political will to develop this program, nothing would have happened in Cordoba, and obviously many people involved in managing and taking care of the cats. The recognition of those people is a key part of the TNR program in Cordoba. There are around 130 people taking care of the colonies. They are trained, they are learning, they've been delivered a best practice handbook, and they are officially recognized with this caregiver ID, which means that they are really working for the city council, for the citizens, and for cat welfare. In terms of funding, well, they've started in February 2021 with a budget of 120,000 euros per year, which is quite a lot of money for a city such as Cordoba. But if you calculate the investment by year and person, it's really not a lot of money. It's 0.32 pounds per people and per year. 24 clinics are involved in the program, and the protocol which has been designed for this TNR program is based on the guidelines of ISFM and our groups of feline medicine, GEMFE, which has been very involved since the beginning. And that's why, I mean, the TNR includes rabies and trivalent vaccination, deworming, obviously, and does not include any test of FIV or FEV as recommended by all the experts in that field. Colonies, we've got 181 colonies known at the moment in Cordoba, and people are working in 141 of those 181. 80% of the colonies which are being managed are above population control. That means above 80% of cats are neutered in those colonies. Colonies are being managed everywhere. It's important. It's public spaces and private spaces. Since February, the 3,000 cats have been neutered in Cordoba in this TNR program. Now, the most important piece of the program is probably the methodology. We are talking about targeted TNR, targeting trapping. We are organized and we are working to make really a measurable evidence that TNR is effective, and we are working. You've got this map on the left-hand side of the slide. We are working neutering every cat that has been trapped. That means pregnant cats are including, lactating females are included, and kittens. Early neutering is part of the program, and vets have been trained. Some of them which were not really prepared have been trained within this program to do early neutering. We haven't got really results because it's only 2 years of this TNR program, but we can see some first numbers, and for example, on the 141 colonies that are managed at the moment, 77 are decreasing and 18 are staying steady, which means that also the control of new arrivals of abandoned or lost cats is controlled, which are really good news, and we are hoping that it's going to keep working in the future. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this presentation. I'm now at your disposal to answer questions if you have some. Thank you very much.